Hello, and welcome. Welcome to January 2026. This is the ONINO community update, the first of the year. Happy New Year first. We're going to wait a couple minutes, give everyone the opportunity to join, and then we're going to kick it off. So lean back, enjoy the music, and we're going to start right away.
Also from my side, a warm welcome and Happy New Year, everyone. We hope you had great holidays and a great New Year's Eve celebration and had a great start into the year. Looking forward to this year's first update.
Also, Happy New Year from my side. This will be an exciting one for ONINO. And I hope you had a great time with your families and all your loved ones, wherever you are. And let's get this going soon.
Welcome again to all the new joiners. We're just going to wait a couple more seconds or minutes to give everyone the opportunity to join, and then we're going to kick it off for the first community update of the year 2026. We'll be right there. Okay, perfect. Let's kick it off. Welcome to the first community update of the year. It's January 2026. Welcome, everybody. Happy New Year. Really happy to have you tuning in. And I would say let's kick it off right away. Today, we're going to talk about a couple things. First, we're going to do a little 2025 recap. Then we're going to do a preview of what ONINO 2026 is going to bring. Then we're going to dive deeper into the product, and then we're going to finish it up with the blockchain. And I would say let's start right away with the recap of 2025. Essentially, we want to recap 2025 in one sentence, which you see we did not achieve. We have 4 bullet points, but essentially we can kick it off and put in the picture and say that essentially in 2025, things started to click. We went from building pieces to a working ecosystem and a clearer product market pull. We wouldn't define product market fit yet because we think the tokenization is just very early, and we are at the forefront of it. And with our platforms and white labels, we're definitely going in a good direction, are at a good spot. But we're getting there, and we're seeing very good market feedback and customers and everything else essentially that brings us to this point, and everything that we worked for many years, starting with the infrastructure in the beginning at ONINO, the blockchain, now the tokenization platform, helping people finance. And essentially 2025 was also a year where we shifted from building what we want to prioritize to building what clients want, because we do have more and more clients that really bring in real world feedback. We have more and more real use cases, and it's less about building a product that we think people will like, but that we know people need because they're using it on a daily basis. Then there was a year of focus as well, because tokenized finance infrastructure essentially bridges the gaps between banks and venture capital. And there is so much you can do with blockchain in general. There is, of course, a little less you can do with tokenization, because that's already one of the use cases of blockchain. And then there's a little less of what we do now. And this focus, a little less, is not a negative thing, but it's a very positive thing, because we really find what is the niche that ONINO can work in best, the niche where ONINO can deliver the most profit and value and help to customers. And so this is really something that the market needs, that we need as a company ultimately. And it's really good to see that tokenization finds its niche and its purpose more and more. And then essentially 2025 also has been a foundation year that sets up for faster 2026. There was a year of a lot of developments, from launching the blockchain in April, launching the tokenization platform in October, where we're going to go in later on, and then setting it up with the white label infrastructures for more clients, many use cases, other platforms in existing ecosystems that we're going to launch in this year, because everything we did in 2025 and the years before essentially led up to this and what's going to follow. So what are we going to do in 2026? Essentially, the ONINO ecosystem is coming together. Like I said, in April 2025, we had the ONINO blockchain. In August 25, the tokenization engine. In October 25, the tokenization platform. And December 25, white label platform rollout started. And from this, more and more is going to come. And the cool thing is that we already have been talking to many, many clients that are coming up. So it's not that we're building first and then talking to customers. We have been building alongside customers. So right now, the pace is going to pick up more and more. There's going to be more platforms. There's going to be more assets on those platforms, on our platform as well. And essentially, the whole thing is growing to become a platform or an ecosystem of platforms. And this brings us to the platform strategy as well. And we like to call it the Shopify of tokenization. Why Shopify? Because essentially what Shopify does is they enable any store owner of an online store, e-commerce in this case, to create their own e-commerce store. So you want to sell a product, let's say you want to sell shirts or something like that, just use Shopify. You can very easily create your own store online. You have everything. You don't need to take care about compliance, regulations, features, customer support, and all those things. They take care of all of it. And we do exactly the same thing in the realm of tokenization and financing. So we offer people with existing ecosystems that have an existing product and market, essentially, they offer financing to others, or they have investors and want to gain products to finance. We offer them the infrastructure to do exactly what they are doing, maybe in a very manual way at the moment, in a very digital way. So on one hand, we digitize things, we tokenize things, obviously, but not just this. It goes way beyond that. We help them navigate regulatory hurdles by just taking care of all of it. We help them do the compliance aspect, managing investors, documents, regulation, and regulatory approvals, or needs that companies and countries have in this case. And essentially, the platform really is an all-in-one turnkey solution. Something that sounds strange, but it's literally what it is. We offer to companies to really build the whole thing that they do on top of this platform and white label it. And this is the big value in the ONINO white label tokenized financing platform. And in 2025, we evolved into a turnkey provider for financing and investment platforms, therefore. And why we call it a platform of platforms is because we have the ONINO platform as a single platform. Across multiple jurisdictions, we help other companies to offer their platforms as well. Of course, we started with the German setup, not because it's easy, but because it's hard, to quote a famous guy. And essentially, we think that starting with the German regulation has helped us in many ways because it doesn't get more complex and more constrained than in Germany. And this enables us to pretty easily copy the same thing and implement it for Europe, and from there to essentially any other legislation out there. And we'll do this with time and with clients in more and more countries. And we do have a lot of interest internationally already. And we also are working on some other thing, which we call automated compliance, where we'll reduce the complexity for those companies to do the things that they want to do in their legislations with the financial assets that they're thinking of and talking about in their specific regulations and regions. And we're going to also work on shipping new features weekly, something that, of course, we have done internally for a very long time, and now also going to push them to the public. And traction signals in 2025, to give you some. On one hand, in the beginning of 25, we closed a strategic financing round that really helped us and set us up in a very good way with investors that know the market, with investors that have great contacts and have an understanding not just of the technology, but much more. And we call it strategic because they don't just give us money, like it's often called dumb money. It's the other way around. It's really people that help us, that have insights, that have know-how, and that support ONINO as a company, as a product, and really help us way beyond the financing that they brought into the company. Then we have been launching and preparing white label platforms Some examples are, for example, real estate, music and film financing, banking, fund and SPV structuring, and alumni and startup network platforms. Those are things we have been working on. Some have launched already, some are yet to come. And this is going to be very interesting for this year. And then the last thing is events and recognition. We went to the South by Southwest, the SXSW in Austin, Texas, then the Token 2049 in Dubai, the EFCC in Cannes in France, then the Web Summit in Lisbon, the Slush in Helsinki, and the Cyber Champions Award, where we even won the audience first place. So many great things, and the last event that brought us this recognition, where we're really happy about it. And this also shows us that we really are on a good step and a good position. And funny enough, we even have some competition that copies our slogans, things like tokenization made in Germany and all those things. So it really shows that not just we have found the right direction, but others have as well and are following. And it's really nice for us to see that we are leading this market in some way. Not in all, of course, we need to be realistic. But it really shows us a good position. And it's always good when competitors do the same thing and steer in the same direction, because it's always a sign that the market matures and that it consolidates in the spot where we have been choosing to go in this direction for a long time, which is good for ONINO. Then, with this, I want to lead over to Lucas, who's going to dive into ONINO in 2026.
Awesome. Thank you, Alex. So we want to kick off the what will we do in 2026 with a short market overview before going deeper into the preview. So tokenization really has been on a tear in the last year. The growth has been really exponential. It is moving, tokenization itself is moving from more a hype word to something that has really found adoption, especially in institutional cases, which is great for all of us, great for everyone that does tokenization at current point in time. We've seen tokenized assets on chain grow more than 3 times in size over the last year, and multiple analysts predict that the size even will grow to $10 trillion of assets put on chain by 2030. I'm not believing in exact numbers, but I'm believing in one thing, and every single analyst out there says the same thing. Tokenization is here to stay, and tokenization is here to grow quickly. So this puts us really in the perfect position. So our general direction is, as Alex already mentioned, we want to be the Shopify of tokenization. We want to power every single platform. We just don't want to build one platform. We want to be the infrastructure layer for every single platform coming within the European market, but also beyond in the future. But our main goal for 2026 is to support all of Europe, which is no small feat if you are a little bit knowledgeable about all the compliance efforts and all the individual jurisdictional details that are needed to be addressed for tokenized assets and for someone to launch a tokenized asset. And also there's a near-term moment. We will be joining our old university in a big event, and also with some potential announcements coming up end of June. So let's take a closer look into how we are preparing our tokenization platform to go institutional on the next slide. So as mentioned already, the biggest adoption, especially from a volume perspective, is happening in the institutional circle. And in the last year, we focused a lot on providing the level of institutional grade infrastructure that can accommodate these use cases going forward. So there's always, like on the one hand, there is a security is involved, then access is involved, and also always compliance is involved. And when you go and sell tokenization to an institution, you have to talk to so many people, and you have to provide a solution like we've been working on that can make everyone happy, or at least allow everyone to make their decision to tokenize with ONINO. So this is a big part we've been focusing on, and we are looking forward to roll out these solutions we've provided in 2026. And one of the first banking use cases will be going live in the first half of 2026. That's something that we are really excited about. Speaking of use cases, there are many more though. Many more that are even beyond the general institutional use cases. And this is where we kick off our goal of ONINO as becoming the platform of all platforms, essentially. We don't want ONINO to be only the ONINO blockchain. We don't want it to only be the ONINO tokenization platform. We want it to really be a layer of trusted infrastructure that powers eventually all other platforms out there. So that ranges from things Alex has already teased that we've been working on the last few months, such as music or film tokenization, banking use cases, but also real estate, private markets, and some other really interesting use cases in the startup ecosystem. So you can expect more and more platforms to connect to the ONINO ecosystem, use our technology, and provide tokenization to the masses as simple as it can be, all powered by us. Then a third major block that we are taking on in 2026 is the ONI token utility. We are fully aware and we fully acknowledge that the token utility is not where we want it to be. It is not at the ideal state that we want it to arrive. But we all know that just like the ONINO blockchain and the ONINO tokenization engine are the foundation of our ecosystem, the ONI coin is what provides, in a visual sense, the roof on top of a building. It provides the glue that ties everything together, and it provides the necessary incentives that makes the ecosystem habitable, you could say so. So with all the foundational work on the technology side and infrastructure and compliance side done, we are now ready to put more focus and more efforts into building more utility and making this glue, which is the ONI coin, even more prominent in everything we do. And this is something where we will be working closely with everyone in the community. So if you have any ideas, feel free to always leave feedback in the Discord or even in Telegram, and we will be working on this, as this will be a full year focused topic for us. So these were kind of the big high level outlooks for 2026. We will be covering all these topics in more detail, but now it's time to also look at the product, because it's not all about 2026. It's also about what happened in the last month. Even though it was a short one, we had really great developments, especially also on the product side. So first of all, we've taken a lot of strides towards automating compliance all over Europe. So we've integrated, for example, a completely new compliance framework, which essentially is a different type of regulation under which you can issue tokenized assets that is now also supported on our platform. We have improved our front ends, so the things you as a user will interact with, to accommodate these regulatory changes. And it's a completely modular no-code stack. So if I were a platform operator, I were to use a tokenization platform, I can completely change the look and feel of the platform without having to touch a single line of code, without even knowing what's going on in the background. I can just do it how I would customize my car when I would buy it from a car dealership, for example. So these were some really great changes that makes the life much easier. Some other examples is something that we're always working towards, is improving the UX and the feeling of our application, as you can see on the next slide, which is primarily two big updates we made that you can see here. Is we, on the one hand, improve the investor front ends. So a complete new landing page that allows anyone to see all the highlights, all the risks involved, and also all necessary details before making an investment decisions. These are also being optimized for mobile usage. And then also the onboarding experience is vastly improved, because tokenization is heavily regulated. And us, all coming from the blockchain space, we are accustomed to, I can connect my wallet, I can start using something. Unfortunately, it's not as easy in the tokenized asset space. We need clear onboarding, we need identification and adhere to different regulatory steps. But we are making this as simple as possible, not only for our platform, but for every other white label platform that we power. Furthermore, we also provided multiple backend improvements for tokenization issuers. So these are the people that are using our tokenization platform or using their white label platform to issue tokenized assets. So we further improved the investor management that allows actual asset managers to have the full detailed view and detailed settings to manage their more complicated assets. We improved the issuance flows, making it much more easy, and also accommodating the new compliance framework we integrated. And also, as I mentioned already before, the setup now is fully modular. You can just go through a few clicks, change a few things, adapt it to your own branding style, company feel, and wording, and this platform can be running for you within a few minutes in theory. These are all necessary steps that we took to change, and there are a lot of more things that we will change, and we're looking to make the product much better every day, just as Kai is doing with the blockchain. And with that, I'll give it over to Kai.
Yeah, thank you very much for the nice transition, Lucas. So yeah, as we already mentioned, I now want to give you a quick update on what we have been cooking behind the scenes regarding our blockchain and what's the plan for this year, and what is planned for the next upcoming month. So on the next slide, we can basically see our first step. What we've been working on in the background will now be released in public. So for the last month, we have been working on several improvements to our mainnet software, the mainnet node client, which entails, amongst others, the operator key feature that we have implemented from scratch on top of our node client in order to support an easier node creation and setup, as well as different user experience, as well as stability improvements to our staking smart contract infrastructure. We have, you could say, collected all of these updates we've been working on last month and will now release them soon in the next weeks in a single bundled comprehensive mainnet upgrade of our node clients. So yeah, as I mentioned, the focus was on stability, performance, as well as extensibility, so we can offer new features on top of our chain. And this will come very soon. We'll inform you once that update is completed, so you can check out the new updated chain experience. Then once this mainnet upgrade has been completed, we will move on to the next step, which will be happening in the first quarter of 2026. So we will now at last start the public validator onboarding, and we will thereby do our first step towards full decentralization that we want to achieve over time. For this, we have provided or thought of different paths that can be taken to join the ONINO network as a validator. So on the one hand, for technical users who are tech savvy, who have experience in the field, know their way around managing servers and especially blockchain node clients, we're going to provide a detailed documentation, developer documentation, as well as step-by-step guides to run their own ONINO node, fully decentralized on their own. But also we have thought about our non-technical community members and users. And for this, our partner CIDT will soon launch TradeVibe, which is a platform that allows for the fully automated one-click setup, operation, also management of ONINO validator nodes, all building on top of the new operator key feature that we have or will be shipping in the next weeks. And yeah, I have already had a few glimpses behind the scenes from TradeVibe, and what I saw there was really amazing. You can really think of a super smooth, user-friendly SaaS platform where you just basically have to fill out a few little details about you, have to make some clicks and connect your wallet, and then without having to worry about server setup, infrastructure, managing AWS or DigitalOcean or other platforms, without having to write any code or scripts or whatever, you can just basically follow the process without any hustle and then spin up your own ONINO validator node really, really quickly and without hustle. And even not even the setup is easy, but also the maintenance. This is also fully handled by the TradeVibe platform. So yeah, once again, I will post the link to sign up for the TradeVibe waitlist in our channels. So if you're interested in checking out this new and super easy method to run a validator node, as one of the first users, feel free to drop in your email and you're going to be notified once it's going live. So yeah, super thrilled for this roadmap we have ahead with opening up our network to the public. Then later this year, circling back on what Alex mentioned before regarding the ecosystem coming together now, later this year we'll also strive for the full convergence of ONINO mainnet and our tokenization platform, or well, put it better, tokenization platforms in plural form. And we will basically later this year fully integrate our ONINO blockchain infrastructure with our ONINO tokenization platform. And thereby the ONINO mainnet then will finally become the core infrastructure layer, and therefore also like the cornerstone that powers our different tokenization use cases and platforms. So yeah, you can definitely stay thrilled. Lots going on also on the blockchain side of things. And yeah, I'm super happy to see where this year will be taking us. And with that, I want to thank you all very much for your attention. Thank you all for watching this community update again. We're super happy to be able to start the next year together with you guys. And I think I can speak for all of the team when I say that we're super thrilled for what's coming in 2026. Thank you very much and have a great start into the new year.
Perfect. Kai, thank you very much. Thank you from my side as well. Really happy to have you following ONINO for such a long time, and really looking forward to this year because it's going to be a big one.
Thank you all for listening. Have a great start to the year, and see you next time at the latest for the next community update.